Hey Ritchie,
Hey, Luke, how's it going?
good man. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Everything's open here, like I said the last time. So I was at the football today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I just got home like an hour ago or so.
Oh
So
okay.
it was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet man. That's
I don't
dope.
I don't go all the time. I just go sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's good for a laugh, man, down there.
Yeah, the crowds are big. It's 60,000.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good. Good. I'm glad. No masks?
You have to wear a mask, but when you're sitting because it's outside,
Oh
you can
yeah.
take it off. But you've got to wear a mask like when you're kind of going to the toilet and stuff.
Oh god. All right. Well, whatever. Hopefully it'll all be gone soon, man.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, now we're on to vaccine certificates, but it's a lot like you know what it's like.
It's
It's going on and
fucking
on.
chaos. It's all chaos. Whatever, man. We're just trying to live our lives. Like, you think this shit be done already. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, because I'm actually looking to travel again,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
internationally. Yeah,
I got the stupid vaccine and I just got a new passport photo, so it's like I'm looking for like, yo, man, I'm trying to move on with my life.
yeah, because I've still got my ESTA. My ESTA's not due up until December because you get it for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So like I don't think I'll make it to the States because the US is quite strict just now. But
Yeah.
that would be my ideal place to go back to, just for a week or so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
But I think it's looking more Europe.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it, man. Things are, we're looking to the future, man. We're looking to move on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a year and a half, so yeah,
Fucking mayhem.
time to just go on with it.
Oh, I'm been ready to move on, man. Are you crazy?
Yeah, how's things going with you?
Oh, it's all right, man. Yeah, it's been pretty good, dude. Like, I'm just kind of hanging out, man. I'm just saving money, just working a bit, like, kind of hanging out, making the best of things, like, looking towards my next options, like
Yeah,
moving on with shit, like bigger and better things, man. Like, that's how I see it. Like, I'm putting all this shit. I think this has just been a big catastrophe. I think it's just been a big fucking mess. That's what I think. Like it. I'm tired of it. Like now that all this stuff has happened, it's like you see how the world really works. It's just like what the fuck is like it's ridiculous. Like it's nothing. It's like the only thing that you can do is just live your life the way you want to, man. Like
yeah,
it's the only thing you can do. Like you can't rely on any of these fucking politicians or any of these retarded organizations or stupid fucking media institutions. Like none of them, they don't know anything. Like they're just
no,
fucking lost. They don't know anything, and it's like that's what's so absurd. It's like fucking dickheads like me and you. Like we have like a relatively good grasp on reality, and that's what's so terrifying.
yeah,
It's like what the hell? Like people like Tyler and Julian and like Joe Rogan and all these guys, it's like what's becoming clear is that like no, they actually are the ones who understand what's happening the best. And it's
yeah,
like how can that be fucking true? Like it's so absurd, but it is true because you can see that like all these ridiculous organizations and politicians and fucking stupid media outlets like they don't know anything. Like they're totally fucking lost. It's terrifying, but at the same time it's like freeing cuz it's like okay, great. Let's just do it. Let's just live like we want as long as we're not hurting people. Let's just live how we want to live, man. That's what
yeah.
I see.
Well, that's a good point because me and you've been doing that for years now, like even before COVID.
I know.
Yeah, but the majority of people, 90% of people, don't. You're only talking to only 10% of people do our
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
So I would say a good life, right? And then there's the 1% who have the great life. Now, here's the catch, right? See the 1%, no matter how good you make it, you need a bit of luck to get into that 1%.
That's
You just,
true.
yeah.
That is true.
So I don't have an issue with people not getting to the 1% because that is very difficult.
Mhm.
Even for us guys, we might get up there to maybe the 2 to the 3%, but it's very, very difficult to get to the 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
possible though.
Yeah, and it's like you're right. For sure, to get into the top 10 or 20%, whatever you want to call it, kind of like the upper level, the elite level, the proportion of guys who understand things and are living in a correct way. Not just guys, girls, whoever. The people
Yeah.
who are doing things in a meaningful, like aligned way. It's like you can get there. You
Yeah.
legitimately can get there. If you want to work hard, if you want to be a good student, if you want to learn, if you want to be open-minded, you want to be willing to be wrong, be willing to correct yourself, be willing to keep trying, be determined, be disciplined, be just willing to take the journey. I absolutely guarantee you 100%, no matter where the fuck you are, it is possible to achieve your version of that top 20, 10%, whatever you want to call it, that elite status. You can get there. Like, it is possible. To your point, I agree with you. There is an element of once you get in that top, let's just call it a 20%. I hear what you're saying with the 10. We'll just call it 20 for fun.
Yeah.
We'll just say once you get in that top 20%, it's true that I think you're right. There is an element of like, you kind of have to like be in the right place at the right time or like know the right person to just, it's like, there's an element of like becoming a billionaire that it's like not everyone legitimately can do that in a way. Like you can all become a millionaire. Everyone can become a millionaire. Everyone can become a multimillionaire. But I hear you. Like there is an element of like Dan Bilzerian like just hit the right frequency, the right like dynamics, the right algorithms at the right time, and he hit. Like the Beatles just hit at the right time. So
exactly.
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, like, it's not so much about becoming a millionaire. Now, I want to become a millionaire.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I already feel like a millionaire.
I know. Like, yeah, totally. I'm already on the journey, bro. I'm already on the journey, and it's all good. It's all good because I'm going to get there, right?
Yeah, because I was walking home today because I was kind of thinking what we're going to talk about and stuff just for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But this sort of came up with this sort of like money thing, and I was just thinking, God, like, it's so good just now. What would it be like if I was a millionaire? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I know,
dude. But I just want to build up to that slow. There's no rush for me at all.
No, absolutely. I'll get there. Like, I'm just getting started, and it's fun. It's fun. Just even seeing my money grow a little bit. It's like, oh, it's growing, like, just a little bit. And it's like, oh, great. It's going to, and once you know, it's like, it's cool. And it's funny thing, even with money, I've noticed is, first of all, the amount of people who are in debt.
Yeah.
Like, it's absurd. Like, the fact that you're not in debt is like, okay, great. You're halfway there. Like, and so much of it is just keeping yourself out of debt and then just keeping yourself from just wasting the money. Like, sometimes I even find when I get up past a certain amount of money, I'll just waste some.
Me too.
I just waste it. It's just like, fuck it, I'll buy 3 pairs of shoes. It's just, I just waste it. And then I have to, like, incorporate that lesson and just be like, okay, dude, you got your shoes. Now let's get back to business. And it's like, okay, fuck. But you know what? That'll happen again. When I get to my next goal, the next whatever couple $1,000s, I get that next increase, it'll happen again. Or I'll be like, oh, this is too much money. I need to waste it. You know? It's a lesson, man. It's all part of it.
Yeah, like, when I was a teenager, like 18 and 19, like, I used to save up a lot of money because I wasn't a big spender at the time. But what I done is I ended up saving for like 6 months, 8 months, not on purpose, but then when it built up, I ended up just splashing out, and then it went right down. But a lot of my 20s, I sort of decided I want to be poor because I didn't grow up poor. Like, I definitely didn't grow up rich.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Me neither. Yeah.
I was a lot closer to being poor than rich.
Yeah.
But I would say I grew up sort around the average mark.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
For the UK, yeah. But what I found is that I wanted to create hardship for myself. It's like we spoke about. I was purposely like spending money that I couldn't afford.
I hear you, yeah.
But I was spending it in the right stuff. A lot
Yeah.
of it was travel.
Yeah.
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 So,
No. Yeah.
and I had fun with that, but when I kind of got to my mid-20s, then I was thinking, okay, I shouldn't be in debt now. Like, and because you've been so used to it, it's very hard to get out of that. So that's something that I found very difficult, actually. Because, like, you might ask, like, well, how can you be going travelling? Like, because I did save a lot of money, but when I was spending it, I had a lot of borrowing power. So I was borrowing, like, always gave it back though. Like, I'm good that way. Like, but what I found is, I'm kind of going off topic, but what I found is when I got to my mid-20s, because I was still going quite hard with the socialising, like, and like we spoke about, you were starting to burn out and stuff, then I wasn't focusing on the money as much. So, like, that's a lesson I had to learn, because if I'd focused on the money a bit more earlier, I would be in a better place than I am now. But I'm in a better place.
Money's such an interesting thing, man. It's so fucking powerful. Like, it's almost like this, like, spiritual fucking currency that, like, manifests itself as, like, physical money. It's fucking crazy. Like, man, it's so attached to other things. Like, I even recently, when I made a big investment, I then was, like, destabilized. I, like, made a big, like, financial investment, and the next, like, week, I was, like, I didn't know what to do with myself, just because it's such a big, like, it like, carries such weight for us, like money and how we relate to it. And I hear you, man. Like, I spent time, too, like, throwing money away, man. It's like, because I didn't want the responsibility of it. So, like, I'd get it, and I'd just throw it away. I'd just find a reason to blow it. And it's like, now sometimes it's like, yeah, man, it's just small things like choosing where to spend this dollar sometimes is important. So it's like, no, it's a cool thing, man. I hear you, man. It's interesting, and, like, it's the next phase, man, and it's so cool, man. Like, money is so fucking sweet. And that's why all the guys who get into game and learn this, they eventually switch over to business.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. Because it's just like, they're like, oh, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same principles.
It is, yeah.
It's all the same. And it's just like, money is just, like, part of it. You just realize that it's like money and women. It's like, and, like, adventure and living the way you want. It's like, they're all part of the same thing. And you're just like, all right, man, awesome. And it's like, it's super cool, man. Like, I hear you, dude. Like, it's super dope. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because see, with the socialising, like especially specifically going out to be girls, stuff like that. I mean, there's so many different ways that, like, you can do that. Like, that's just one way of doing it. But I'm saying, if you were focusing on education, for example, or different things, like, or you could have met, like, people going to, like, sports activities and stuff like that. So, like, you could have done it that. So I'm saying, there's so many different avenues that you can build up, work with the same principles.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it just, like, it just so happened that we just, like, took this journey of, like, focusing specifically on, like, let's meet all the people. Let's be socialist. Let's be as social as possible. And it's like, fine, that's cool. You can do that. It's just like, if someone wanted to focus on becoming, like, the best boxer or, like, the best painter, it's like, whatever, you can do that. It's fine. But it's like, you still have to get down to this, like, main principle. And, like, you're right. If you just adhered to these principles, you could have just carried on with your life, and you're right, played on a football team and just had it go that way. And then you met like some really hot girl who plays on another football team, and it's like, you guys just got along, and it was like, you were living the dream. You were just like, this is awesome. And me and you are sitting here like, we don't understand. Like, why didn't that work for me? And it's like, well, I don't know, man. It didn't. We had to take this path.
Yeah. We had to do it.
We had to do it, man. Because things didn't work out for me that way. I always wondered why it didn't. I always thought it would. I, like, watched a movie and I was like, oh, great. I'll just meet some other hot girl on the cheerleading team or something. But it's like, that never actually happened, right? Like, so I needed to take this journey.
Yeah. And for me, like, it could have happened because I was the fastest sprinter at the school. Like, I won lots of awards. I was very good at sports, very good.
Yeah, me too. I was good
but
too.
I just, like I said, I just didn't have the physicality. I didn't have the confidence. That's like, I wasn't good with girls around guys. That was my issue.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
If you take the guys away,
yeah,
I'm not going to say I was like I am now.
Yeah.
But I wasn't bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could hold a conversation.
I hear you. I hear you. I think I had a bit of that too, but that points to a deeper issue, man. When you see a guy in that position, it points, because you have to be able to deal with the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky that I've got like a dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So because that did help a lot, but I didn't have any brothers.
Okay.
So sisters.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man.
Like, most of my cousins are girls, so I that's what I was used to.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like, man. Yeah, getting used to dealing with other guys too, because it's just part of the issue. But it's like, because there is a way to deal with other guys. There is an actual way to deal with them that's productive and cool. And when you start to learn that, it's like, oh, okay. You just kind of like apply the same like energy, and you like apply the same like force and intention to the guys, and it just plays out differently than it does with girls. But it's still kind of like a force. You still have to be like addressing the guy and da-da-da. But it just plays out differently, because there's no like, oh hey, cool, let's go somewhere, let's exchange numbers and let's go for a date. It's like, it's not that with the guy. It's just more like, okay, cool, what are we doing here? Is this your girlfriend? No, it's not. Okay, cool. What are you doing? Are you just being a cool guy, or are you being some fucking white knight chode? All right, you're just being cool? Okay, great. I'm cool too. I'm trying to talk to this girl. Are you going to interfere? No, you're not? Okay, great. This has been fun. Yes, hope you have a great night. All right, so long. It's like you can just like work it out properly, and a cool guy can understand that and appreciate that. And he's just like, oh, great. Have a good one, man. And carries on, right? He's like, I'm just enjoying a beer. Cool. Awesome. Like,
yeah. So it's like you say, like, it didn't work out for us, but then it did. It did.
Yeah. It did. Yeah. It did. That's just it. Eh? It's so funny. Eh? But we put the work in too, right?
Oh yeah. But like we said, this is the ideal way to do it. The ideal way is just to be natural.
Oh, yeah. I know. And it's like, even that guy who we described, who played on the football team and met the other girl on the other football team, he still would have been better served by still just having someone come along, sit him down, and directly tell him how things work. Even if he was still doing good, he would have been served even better by having someone being like, oh, dude, you're doing pretty good. It's a little more like this. It's a little more like that. Do it more like this and more like this.
Yeah.
And he'd been like, oh, great, even better.
Yeah, because some of those guys don't have anyone doing that. It just naturally happens. But some of the guys that aren't natural hang around with natural guys, so then they do have that guidance. So, yeah. But like you say, it does help. It does help a lot. I agree.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, well, that was good. We had a couple of good ideas. Do you want to bring up a couple of the topics that we have here?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
All right, man. So the first one we might as well get into is an interesting one. Now, we've spent probably like 10 podcasts together, however many videos, talking about like, what can guys do? How can they improve? What should they do? Now here, let's do something a little bit different and a little bit interesting, out of love of everyone and the game and life. What the hell can girls do? It's time, because we spend so much time beating the guys down. It's like, let's just for a moment say, like, what the hell, can the girls do? And what are they doing? And, like, how is it serving them, or how is it not serving them? Like, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that?
So there's two sides, but I'm going to start with the sort of Western countries, because that's easier to do.
Mm-hmm. So
the Western countries, girls are put on a pedestal by society.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
It's crazy.
So girls on average, have it easier than guys in countries like the UK,
Yeah.
America,
Oh, yeah.
Canada, Australia, all the really developed countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those countries are ahead of the time in ways. Like, I still think there's a lot of issues with our developed countries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'll say is...
Oh, Richie, just something with your sound changed there.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. I don't know what happened. Yeah, so I was just saying that a lot of these developed countries, they're developed and they're very far ahead of other countries. So they still have their issues, but we're ahead that we don't have to worry about civil war and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So what happened is all the women's rights stuff, that all gets sorted like a few decades back.
Whatever, yeah.
But now it's went too far, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But if you're a girl, that's a good thing. Like from a personal standpoint, right? Like, well,
to a point.
It's good.
To a point.
It can cause, yeah, to a point.
For a while.
Yeah. So education is a lot easier because girls are better listeners than guys.
Yeah, oh, way better. Way better.
Yeah.
They're way better at school. There's no contest. They're fucking they're like biologically engineered to just do what they're told. Okay, all right, sure, fill out a test, great, put up the ones. Not to take anything away from they work hard too, but like, yeah, they're way better at it.
Yeah, because they're more built to be passive.
Yeah, totally.
That's their natural standpoint.
A fucking young man doesn't want to sit there and be told by some teacher, meh, 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 fill out that test, you little fucking dummy. A young man's like, yeah, fuck, out of my way. Like, so yeah.
Yeah. So education, you already have an advantage because you're going to be looked after better.
Oh yeah,
right?
Way better.
Yeah. Now here's the other good point, right? On average, most girls are going to look above average.
Oh
right?
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier for a girl that's average looking
to
make herself look better.
Oh yeah, and they're so good at it, and they have all the magazines and the TV and all the makeup and the clothes is cheap and easy to find, and they know how to dress themselves up like immediately. There's like all of a sudden, so they all look at a pretty good standard, basically.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the girls here with makeup big here, really big. Yeah. I don't know what it's like in Canada. I think it's still pretty big. Yeah. So that's another one. So most girls will look about a 6 or 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, some will be 8. A few will be 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Most of them will look above average.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then even the ones that are like a bit below average, like the 3 and the 4, those girls still have it easier than the guys at 3 or 4.
Oh yeah. Because they at least still have like some value, whereas a guy who's like a 3 or 4, he has like no value. He's worthless. He's like spit on and laughed at. So yeah.
So the issue that these girls have though, because this is the dark side now.
Oh
because there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
Like the mature stuff, like makeup, like education and stuff. The dark side is most guys don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? And in Western countries especially. Well, even in non-Western countries, but that's a different issue, right? But if we're talking about your country, my country, you know, a lot of guys don't know what they're doing.
It's true.
It is. So what happens when the guys don't know what they're doing is that those girls that are 9 and 10, because looks are very important with girls.
Oh yeah.
So those girls that are 9 and 10 match the guys that are 8+.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The naturals.
Yeah.
But the 6, 7s and 8s always end up getting the guys that are around the 5 and 6. The average kind of guys, right? Mm. But those guys don't really have a clue what they're doing to some extent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of, they'll have enough confidence to hold the conversation, like, especially in the school age, like they'll get by. They'll get by. They'll have a couple of options, but they'll not have abundance. Yeah. Because I was stuck in that for a long time, but I was stuck in it a long time after school years.
Oh yeah,
right. So, yeah. But so what you find is that a lot of the girls end up getting hurt by those guys because one, and this is the majority of the guys. One, they just fuck up by accident.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But a few of those guys maybe came from a darker place, because I've noticed that as well. Like, it maybe were 3s and 4s, but they naturally built up to 5 or 6. They just naturally done a lot of socialising in the school years. Some of those guys are kind of on the player sort of like mindset, which is it's never I've never been into that, right? But sort of like, oh, get the money, get the bitches, like that kind of mentality. So a lot of those guys are really like, they don't really care about girls' feelings at all. So then a lot of the 6s, 7s, and 8s, because they're young and they don't have the experience with guys, they end up going for something like that and they get really hurt. And women are very emotional, so I'm talking about this could be like a year or 2 of trauma that they have to get over. Like, so like maybe they get very, very highly pressured by this guy, but then and they signed up for something they weren't too sure about because they're maybe only 16, 17, but then they found out that the guy had slept with their best friend the week before. So, and that's a kind of shitty feeling. So there's a lot of darkness, but I would still say overall they do have it easier. As we spoke about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would be the things that I would work on if I was a girl? Like, what I would work on is not giving a shit about what society wants.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And that's very rare.
Oh yeah, they're all bought into that retarded shit for sure.
Oh yeah,
super useless.
Yeah, so that would be the number one, and then the number 2. There's just 2 main points really that I've got. So that would be the number 1, and the number 2 is get experience sexually. Get experience because they don't realise how lucky they are. Because if you this is where I was going to take it to finish, and then I'll let you say you're like, if you look at a country like Afghanistan just now, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's went even crazier.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even pre-Taliban, before Taliban took over, that country was strict.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying a lot of these countries that women are in, they don't have any say.
Right.
If they sleep with a guy outside of a marriage, they can literally get killed.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
So I'm saying a lot of girls over here, they do get hurt with guys. But what I would say to them is, don't get so attached to guys in the first place. Just have some experience with guys. Just go out with different guys. Kind of get like what guys really do, and don't really feel that pressure, because a lot of women just have this pressure of like, I can't be going with this guy and that guy and stuff like that. So they end up mostly a bit too conservative in ways, but then they end up drinking alcohol and stuff, and then they feel guilty about it. So yeah, that's the 2 points. What would you add to that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's really an interesting topic, man. Like, yeah, what was it again? Like, what can girls do? Yeah, and like, how does the narrative serve them or don't serve them? Yeah, like, well, I mean, I definitely agree with a lot of what you were saying. Like, yeah, our society is for sure geared towards women. Like, it's geared towards putting them on a pedestal, like you said. Like, the education system's all geared towards them. All the movies, all the products, even all like the government programs, it's all geared towards them. All of it. Like, and it really just uses and abuses the men. It's just like, really, it's just like, guard the fence. The men are just guard the borders. Don't let the fucking barbarians in. Enforce these fucked up laws. And, you know what I mean? That's really about it. Like, if our house catches on fire, kick it in and save me. Other than that, hook my Netflix up and make sure my plumbing works, and I don't want to hear from you. Like, there's an element of that. It's fucking crazy. But, like, I mean, you know, so there's an element of that. But, like, none of that stuff, like, fundamentally, like, serves them. Like, so much of that doesn't ever, like, make them happy. Like,
no,
it never does. It's like the girl thinks that when she gets like all these university degrees, or she gets all these handbags or all these shoes, she gets all this like whatever it is, even if it's like a big wedding with her dress and all this photographs and stuff, like a lot of that stuff fundamentally is not like she doesn't have like the biological reward mechanisms that get fed by a lot of that stuff. Like it doesn't matter how many times like she's told by fucking politicians or whoever like to do all that shit. Like it never really satisfies her. So I don't know. They're in a weird position because like they've gotten themselves into like the opposite of Afghanistan, where like you were saying, like in Afghanistan, that's not fair either. Like that's not fair either. You can't force a girl and like force her that she like has to get married in certain circumstances, or you can't kill her because she like didn't wanted to date a bunch of guys. Like she's allowed to do that. Like she has the right to do that. And like this crazy situation in Afghanistan, like that's fucked up. Like, but on the other hand, like in the Western countries, like we've gone so far in the other direction that we seem to feed them this fucking fantasy where it's just like, do whatever you want, like behave fucking however you want, like at all times, be as like outrageous as you fucking want, and like there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's no fucking repercussions at all. And like we even feed them this idea that it's like somehow like that's a good thing. Like have fucking appalling manners, like just appalling manners, and behave in a totally like disjointed and like unpalatable manner. Go ahead and do that, and it's like they treat it as if like that's perfectly fine, and like some man is gonna have no problem with that. That's kind of how they sell it. They're like, yeah, like fucking, you know, like George Clooney or Brad Pitt or fucking, you know, Denzel Washington or any of these guys, you know, they're gonna have no problem with you behaving like that. So they're sold this fucking lie because like the reality is like that behavior is not going to work. It's not going to be acceptable. Brad Pitt doesn't want to fucking come home after dealing with his fucking 8 kids or whatever the hell he got and and working on some movie for fucking 10, 20 hours a day. He's not going to want to come home to some fucking, you know, hysterical behavior. Like, it's just like, he's like incapable of putting up with it. Literally. Yeah. He's like biologically incapable of putting up with it. And this is the kind of lie that they're sold, which is so sad because they don't realize that, like, this crazy narrative they're sold is, in fact, like literally barring them access to the type of guy that they would want.
Yeah.
It's super fucked. So, I don't know. There's a few things. Like,
I mean, like, when I look at it, right? Like, because I know I travel a lot, but the girls that I actually see more of something happening with, they're not from the Western world.
Yeah, no.
Or if they are from the Western world, they're not from a Western background.
Right, yeah, like, yeah. Or they're from, like, a small town, I find sometimes. I meet girls from a small town, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, like the conservative type we were talking about, yeah. Some of them are wild, though. Yeah.
But in an okay way, though. But like, it just, it's like...
Yeah, like the church girls and stuff. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, it is interesting because, like, I mean, some of the behaviours, like, Miami's the perfect one. Like, I've only been to Miami once, but some of the women there, like, I actually rejected myself, and I don't do that very often. Like, what I mean by that is most girls will have a conversation even if I'm not interested in, but some of these girls I literally was saying hello and goodbye. Like the energy was so off.
Oh yeah.
Like and just to clarify, my energy wasn't off.
Right.
Because this was only 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I always correct. Don't get me wrong. Maybe there was one approach that maybe was off right.
Oh yeah, but you were running a proper game, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it to a good standard.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but a good standard. But they're just so disrespectful. Like,
no,
it's like, just have manners.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so crazy because like, it's this thing that they could fix.
Yeah.
It's like you could fix that, but they spend all this time and focus doing their fucking eyebrows and putting fake eyelashes on and fucking loads of makeup and different colored fucking shirts and shoes and all this type of shit and figuring out weird games to play with other girls and all this dumb shit. And it's like, God, like they don't, it's almost like they don't even they don't even understand that just fixing their manners and improving their behavior, if you just did that, just by doing that, you'd have so much more opportunity and access even when they were talking to you. It was like you were probably like would have been happy to carry on talking to them, but like their manners were so fucking unpalatable that you just have no choice. This is what they don't understand, is that like a man has no choice but to fucking like extract himself from that situation, because he knows if he allows that type of behavior to carry on, it's going to cause problems for him.
Well, here's the catch though. He should project.
He has to, yeah.
Well, he has to, but they don't always. No, because here's where you go down.
That's a good point. That's a good point, man.
Yeah, I mean, so see these girls that are really nasty and like, and you know, I'm not hating on them because I don't go down to their level.
Yeah. You know what? They're free to do it,
and they're young. A lot of them are under 25,
and they don't know any better, and no one's teaching them, but they are being taught the opposite by this crazy fucking movies and TikTok and ridiculous music and all this fucking crazy shit. They're being taught like, hey, behave like this. It's a good idea.
I'm disconnected to people. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. So like, as you're saying, the TikTok, the Instagram, like, all those things are terrible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts. It's fucking crazy.
Because the apps on their own aren't terrible.
Right.
It's that most people don't use them in the correct manner.
Right, yeah.
And even me to an extent, I've sometimes went a little bit too far at times, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I've never been totally off it. That's for sure. I've never been like I've never went to a club and done an Instagram live video at the club.
Yeah, it's all fucking crazy. Like,
now, fair enough if you're the DJ or something and it's for charity and you have to go on.
Right. Or if it's part of your thing, if you're Dan Bilzerian, whatever. It's a different thing, but it's like.
But these girls are doing it every night of the week.
And again, the issue becomes like, they become so overly invested in this fantasy, right? It's just all they're ever doing is just projecting this fantasy. It's just all advertisement. All they ever do is just promote themselves. They just advertise their looks all over the place all the time, and they're just constantly trying to like accentuate and like maximize their advertisement. But the real issue is like, look, we're a biological fucking species. We are a biological species who is closely related to the fucking monkey. Like that's what we are. Like, that is what we are. And it's like, we, like, 1,000 years ago, we were like living in fucking mud huts. Like, you understand that? Like, that's like such a small, like 100 years ago, we didn't have TV. We didn't have internet. We were all all these countries were like rural countries. Like, you lived in a small town. You never even left the small town unless it was go to some ridiculous war and stab a stranger in a fucking mud pit somewhere. Like, your whole life was like you married the girl like the next town over. And like, this is when you were 20. You were 20 and you got married to Sally, who was fucking the farmer's daughter of your dad's friend. Like, literally, but it sounds
it was like that.
It sounds stupid, but like, it is true. And what's crazy is there actually was a sense to that. There actually was a practical sense to that, because your father knew Johnny 2 towns over, who he traded horses for cows with, and he was like, "Look, Johnny, what's going on? Listen, I got this fucking young son. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't do retarded shit and wreck his life." Oh, great. Johnny 2 towns over says, "Okay, look, I got this daughter. I'm trying to make sure she doesn't fuck it all up and go banging half the town. Like, why don't we just link them up, and we'll all try to make sure they raise properly, and by the time they start having kids, they'll start to figure shit out together." It's like, okay, that's basically, they tried to like manage the resources, right? Like, the farmer 2 towns over or whatever, he wanted to manage like help his daughter manage her resources properly. Hey, she's hot right now. She's 20 years old. She has all this potential. If left to her own devices, what do you think she's gonna do with that value?
But that's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem now.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at the divorce rate, I mean, there's so many women that have daddy issues, literally daddy issues, and I bet.
Loads, bro. It's and that's why even as you get older, it's almost like things almost get easier. It's so absurd.
It's kind of sad at the same time.
I know, like, it's not. I actually shouldn't laugh, because it's not something it's like, I would prefer that they were just all around healthy. I would prefer that.
Yeah. The only reason we laugh is because we've came so far from your story about Johnny and the daughter.
Yeah.
And that was only 2 generations ago.
Oh, that's it. 100 years, fucking max.
Yeah. Wrecked the car. They actually wrecked the car. Yeah. So here's where the positivity comes in, but because there's a tennis match on tonight, a US Open final, and it's got 2 women in it, and this is very fit, because both of these women, I was getting low, but we've got 10%. So two of these women weren't even born when 9/11 happened, right?
Okay.
So there's a British girl, and she's versing a Canadian.
Okay.
But the catch is, both of these women are playing way above their seed in the world. Like, they're playing out, right? They're both 18 and 19, right? But that's amazing in itself, to get to a Grand Slam US Open tennis final. 18 and 19 years old. The point I'm trying to make, though, is those girls aren't on Instagram. Okay, they've got Instagram, they're putting photos up, but that's just a side project. Their main project's been the tennis. That was their avenue. They went with it. And you might ask, how do those girls become so good so young and get... Well, the parenting was there. Like, a lot of the time it comes back to the parenting. Because, not just, though, because you can still learn this shit on your own. Doesn't mean just because you come from a broken household that life's going to be shit. It's just more likely.
Yeah,
likely.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because I can't relate to that, because I come from a stable background. Like, my problem was never the family situation. My problem was more the environment situation, because I'm around a lot of broken people, but my personal family isn't broken. So that can be problematic in itself, like, because I see that with a lot of guys that maybe like maybe they come from stable backgrounds, but they're not rich enough, or they're not in a good enough area that get away from stuff like that. So I mean, the thing with these, it's quite interesting because so many of these days have so many issues, but they can correct them.
You can. That's the thing. You can, and they should, right? Because if they don't, it's like you're just, again, it's like, to me, that's what like feminism should have been. That's actually what that's what I used to think it was before I learned the fucking appalling truth. Like, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was about women like learning how to improve themselves and how to like empower themselves so that they didn't have to necessarily rely as much on a man. That's originally what I thought it was, and maybe at some point that was the idea. Like I think originally perhaps that was the idea. Obviously, it's no relation to that anymore. But whatever we want to call this idea we're talking about, it's like that's the obvious way forward for women. Like self-development, self-empowerment, improving yourself, learning how to like behave properly, learning manners, learning how to behave in such a way that puts you in a good position and gives you an opportunity to live the type of life that you would like and have the type of partner that you would like.
Yeah.
Like, if you would like to have like if you would like to marry George Clooney or Tom Brady or fucking Ronaldo or Dan Bilzerian or whatever, you have to realistically understand the type of woman that would be palatable to him. And you have to actually be willing to acknowledge what that is. And this is what all the mainstream is not doing that. They're telling them something else. They're telling them behave in this fantasy way. And this is the real crux of it. This is the real crossroads of it. Is in the same way you and I had to come to a reality of what type of behavior is appealing to women. It wasn't what we thought. It wasn't what I thought. I thought it was in a romantic comedy movie. I thought it was Be a Nice Guy. That's what I thought. But I had to go.
That's what I thought as well. I was very similar in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And let me tell you something. It took years and years and years of hard work and constant just admission that I didn't know. Of like, hey, I was wrong. I was wrong, man. What I thought before was not true. And this is the same that I think the women have to do. It's like, hey, that shit you were told isn't going to work. And you have to acknowledge what will work. And that's really all it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's the same thing we have to do. And that's okay. And so we can be a good match. That's what I see.
I'm 100% with that, because, I mean, if you take us, I think you'll be similar, maybe slightly, but you'll be in the same path. Like, I mean, sex was a big deal when I was a child. Like, my parents weren't talking openly about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, my grandparents definitely weren't.
Oh,
like,
no.
It was all secret and hidden. It was all embarrassment.
Yeah,
it was all embarrassment. Yeah. And I went to church and stuff like that. So like, and I really like the church.
Yeah,
like,
I think church can be good, actually.
Yeah, but what I find with the church is it can be strict. So as a child, you take a lot of what they say literally.
Yeah.
But there's the good sense of, if you go to church and you've got faith, you're more likely to have better morals. So you're going to be able to get through the hard times better. That's my opinion. But I mean, I've seen people kill it, like they don't have any faith, like, and just going after life and doing really well. So it can work either way. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was always like a shame thing, like the opposite. And also, I watch too many movies.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too, dude.
And American movies,
Yeah,
Hollywood
me
movies.
too, dude. That
Yeah.
is not healthy. Oh, just fix the sound again, bro. Yeah, it must
I think
be
the battery's getting low. I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
3% now.
Do you want to plug it in or?
I'll try. I don't know if you'll be able to hear my voice though.
All right, give it a try.
I think there was an issue the last time.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try it anyway.
All right.
Let's try it.
Yeah. So what were you saying about something a Canada show or something?
What was I going? Oh yeah, I was going to say. So I watched a lot of. They were called the Olsen Twins.
Oh yeah, I know the Olsen Twins.
I watched a lot of their films.
Oh yeah, the Olsen Twins. Oh yeah, from they were on the show Full House.
Yeah. Where are they from? Canada or are they American?
No, they're American, I think.
They're American.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were on the show Full House.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know them from a show called Two of a Kind.
Yeah, they were twins, right? And then they were twins. Yeah, I remember they had a bunch of movies, and I think they even had like a clothing line. I think my sister was into it a bit. Like, yeah, it's just all that like totally like that stuff's just all like packaged. It's just a narrative. It's just a fantasy, and fools like me and you, like we see that, and we're just like, oh, like you think that like the way that their movies go or something is like you think that's how you should behave. You think that's like your part in their life, but what we don't understand is like you're just seeing like a fantasy portrayal of like it's just their fantasy, and none of that's based in reality, and none of those things is like how they really behave, and it's like behind the scenes. Like you watch that movie that they put out, Two of a Kind or something, and she's like, oh, you're gonna go see fucking Billy. Oh, did Billy call you? Oh, and then Billy in the end of it comes back with the flowers. He's like, I've always loved you secretly. It's just total nonsense. And like secretly that girl, Mary Kate or Ashley, whatever, the night before that fucking the night before the shoot in the movie, she was out till 4 a.m. fucking sniffing Vicodin with some fucking biker. You know what I mean?
Well, they did have their issues.
Yeah,
I know that.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. She was in some toxic relationship with some fucking heroin addict musician who was fucking, like contemplating suicide, and she was trying to like save him. Like it's a fucking mess. Like,
I mean, a lot of famous girls end up with guys like that because here's the thing: they're successful on what they do, but they might not be successful as a person.
Yeah.
Now, see the 1% of people that we're talking about that become like sort of really. Some of those people that are classed the 1%.
Man, the sound is a bit messing up. Oh, it's okay now.
Yeah. I think it is because it's charging though. It does maybe play up a bit.
Oh, okay. Is it like on the ground or something? Like if you put it up, it seems to be okay.
No, I'm holding it up.
Oh, okay. Pop the headphones in. Pop the headphones in and just see if maybe that would help.
1 sec.
Yeah, because that works there.
I just need to put the Bluetooth on.
Yeah, because that sounds okay.
Oh, it's in.
Yeah, that's...
The headphones aren't in yet, though.
Oh, they're not? Okay, but it sounds okay.
Okay, I'll just keep it going then. If it gets worse, we can just...
Alright, well, whatever. It sounds okay.
We'll do even a part 3 or something.
Alright, so keep going. What were you saying?
Oh, I think it's on the headphone then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you hear me now, yeah?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I can hear you. Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm good now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. What were we saying?
Something about Mary Kate and Ashley, were we?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we're talking about like the drug guys and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you were saying like that's like if you look at people like Kurt Cobain, like different ones that have like took their own life stuff, which is very tragic. Like I mean, that's the ultimate give up. You know what I mean? Like like most people give up in life, but most people don't give up their whole life. You know what I mean? Like
Bro, like I don't know if I ever mentioned on my any of my videos before, dude. Like fucking so many guys commit suicide, man. It's fucking crazy, dude.
yeah,
Like two of my bros, man. I had one dude who used to come out with me. He was pretty. He was just like natural, really. He was a
yeah,
fucking dude. He was a firefighter. This dude was like 6 feet tall. It was absurd, and he was just like a blinding alcoholic and drug addict. Anyway, he's dead, man. I had another friend dead. Like it's fucking chaos, dude's just this is the crazy world we live in, man.
yeah. I mean, I don't know any. I know people that have done it,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't close to anyone.
Mm.
Like, fortunately, but I mean, I know of like friends that have had friends,
Oh yeah.
that kind of thing. So, like, and I know, so it does happen more often than it should,
Oh
of
yeah.
course,
Oh yeah.
because nobody should be doing that, right?
But it just shows you like
But
the desperation out there, man. It's desperation of guys is crazy.
yeah, and a lot of it. I mean, women are doing it, but not to the same extent as guys.
Mm.
Like, so that does show that guys do have it tougher.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, the guys is way higher. Way higher.
yeah,
It's like 80% or something crazy.
and as you're saying, it's like it's not all guys that are like loser guys.
Oh no,
It's
it's
not all guys
everybody.
that
Like
are.
I said, two of my bros that I grew up like oh yeah. It's like it's anyway, I don't even know what to say about that. Just got to get on the right path, guys. Get on it.
It's about getting on the right path, but you'll always have tough times,
For
no matter
sure.
what path you're on.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just,
For sure.
it's just about accepting those times,
Yeah.
and that's something that I've struggled with,
Mm.
but I've never struggled to that degree. It's not something I can relate to that degree,
Mm.
because like everybody goes through the dark moments and the dark times, like because sometimes like for me it's been burnout, right?
Mm.
For me it's been just going overboard, doing too much.
Mm.
So like even though we're on this journey, there's still dark points in the journey.
Yeah.
But what always got me through those times was I always knew there was going to be another day.
Mm.
That's I always thought that. I always thought there's going to be another day. There's going to be another day. So, I mean, it's getting a little dark, but I would say for those guys and those girls that well, you've got to those drugs you've just got to cut out because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that is one thing I've noticed that a lot of suicide, drinking alcohol, drinking drugs are massive.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it's something like 2 out of 3 people that commit suicide are either on drugs or they drink alcohol at the time of the suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Get off
So
the booze and the cocaine and shit right away, guys. It's not gonna serve you, man, at all.
yeah, I mean you can have a couple of drinks, nothing
If
wrong with that.
if you can, yeah.
Yeah, I think with the drugs I just would eliminate them.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you can't dabble with drugs. You can't. Yeah.
I wouldn't bother. Some people can, but it's just who cares? Why not do something better? You could have invested that in fucking Bitcoin, or you could have invested it in fucking supplements or deer steak or fucking wild game or some shit, or who just invested better. If you have that kind of money, like yeah, well, whatever. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's their choice if they want to do that. I mean, I'm not condoning because a lot of it's illegal, but I'm just saying if you want to go down that path, then that's up to you. But like as you're saying, some people can get away with dabbling, but most people that dabble will end up turning to a drink or something, or they'll end up getting addicted. So yeah, it's a big gamble.
Oh yeah,
it's a big gamble.
Yeah. Okay, should we check out some of the other topics here?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Okay, so we did that one pretty good. That was What Can Girls Do? That was probably one that was a long time coming. Like I think that one was
Yeah.
due. That was due. All right, so how about the problems with being a nice guy? This is kind of related. Like it's like the problems with being just a nice guy, or the problems that like nice guys create. Like, what do you think about that?
So that's quite a simple one actually for me because like nice guys can get better. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I mean by getting better is I'm not worried about nice guys.
Mm.
Right? I'm worried with what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried that they're going to take a woman home and strangle her to death.
Oh no, no,
right?
no.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say because I'm worried about the guys that are on the other spectrum. Those, if you know what I mean. So the point I'm trying to make with nice guys is the majority of people are nice guys. The majority of guys are nice guys, right? Now, respect's a big one. A lot of nice guys don't have respect for the women and don't have respect for themselves. Like, because you might say they're very respectful to women, but they're not really because they over-respect her. They put her on the pedestal. So, I mean, that's the big one, respect. Like, respect's big. A lot of those guys settle as well. A lot of nice guys settle.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't respect the actual, like, the woman's actual experience of life. Like they're not respecting what her actual reality is. They're just like forcing a narrative on her of like what they think, like how they think things should be, and it's like that's not even fair because it's like, dude, you're not even appreciating like what she really is. You're just like using your own narrative of what you want her to be, and you're just like projecting that on her. It's like, how fucking disrespectful can you, like, how much more disrespectful can you be? It's like, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's because those girls actually might like the guy a little bit at first, but they'll get very quickly put off.
Oh yeah,
like it happened to me a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're both. We're both speaking because we're both nice guys.
Yeah, because I mean, like, the good thing for me, but is it was still an experience. At least I tried, because some nice guys don't even try.
Yeah.
But I like once I got to like the age of 16, even a little bit before, but once I got to 16, that was when I had my first girlfriend and stuff like that.
You know what? That's a good point, man. I never thought of it like that, dude. It's like, that's a really good point, man. And maybe that's why we both like took this journey and got to this point, man. That's a good point, man. Because it's like, even though I was a nice guy, at least I fucking tried, man. Like, at least I tried, bro. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was fucking stupid, and even if it was like I made some like note to some girl, it was like, you're so beautiful. I like you secretly. You're so beautiful. You're in my fucking science class. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, even though that's not like productive way to engage, in my own little like nice guy way, at least I was showing intention. Hey, you know what, man? That's the damn truth. So I'm going to go with that, yo. Even back then, I was still trying to show the intention. So good on me. And I learned better. Now I did better. So there you go. You got to do better, though, guys. You can be a nice guy.
Yeah.
But you have to learn better, okay?
But that's a good thing because, like, the guys that don't try and they think, what's the point? Because you do get some of those guys, actually most of those guys, it just gets harder. It really does.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're not, like, I was getting experience, and it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah. And I'm not saying I was getting lots and lots. This wasn't happening on a weekly basis. This was happening maybe once a month or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
once a year went well.
Yeah. Once a year went well, if that, because it really never went well. All that kind of like nice guy behavior where you're just like, I like you so much, like you're so beautiful, like it never goes well. It can't.
Well, it went well for me. Yeah, it went well for me, but then that was after alcohol.
Oh god. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, the old booze and yeah.
But that was a thing that was a good experience for me, because the big thing that was missing for me was the physicality. But if I drank enough, physicality came. So, that's not a recommendation.
No, you don't want to rely. You don't want to rely on alcohol, right? Because then you always got to be drinking, and it's like, who wants to be doing that? Like, it's not good. It's not a good way to learn. Like,
no, because once I got to 18, I cut down my drinking.
Yeah.
When I was only having a few drinks, then I was still nervous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Even after because maybe when I was 16, 17, I was getting very drunk, whereas when I was 18, okay, a little bit tipsy, but I was the guy that was standing at the clubs and not talking to anyone. I was that guy.
Oh, yeah, it was hard, man. It's hard when you cut the booze
out.
At
least I was going out. At least I still was going out.
Yeah, man, me too, man. I was going out, man. No booze, just out. And it's like, you'll learn. Like, that's the thing. If you're out with no booze and you're putting some effort in, over time you will learn. And, dude, like, just like the appreciation for the journey, man. Like, that we actually took the journey, man. Like, there's so few guys who are willing to do it. And it's like, you're never going to have that satisfaction knowing that you actually did it right. Like, you took the time to learn something correctly. And I guess bringing it all the way back, it's like, this is why you want someone else to show you. So, because it's like, you'd be so much better served by just being like, okay, great, Luke and Ritchie did that. Can you just help me do it? We're like, sure. Saved yourself a lot of problems. So, anyway. Okay. Yeah.
That's it, man. Basically, I mean, if you're a nice guy, which about 70% of guys are, maybe even slightly more.
Yeah, probably.
Just rack up the experience.
Yeah.
Like actually go out on 100 dates, but don't kiss the girl, right?
Just get loads of references. And that's part of the journey. You still, like, I'm sure you can. I'm the same. Like, I'll look back on references, like a date I went on with a girl from like 3 or 4 years ago. And sometimes I'll just look back and I'll be like, well, maybe she wasn't that attractive, or maybe it wasn't like the best chemistry ever, or nothing really happened. It was just the one day. But sometimes I'll still look back on it and be like, oh, well, it was kind of cool. Like, we still got to spend some time together. It was still kind of an interesting experience. Like, hey, I'm still glad, I got that reference. Like, I'm still glad that happened. Like, cool. That's how I look at it.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, I've met quite a lot of girls that, all right, maybe the distance is there, or it's just we've not spoke much, but I still keep in contact with a lot of the ones from the past.
Do you?
Like, well, to an extent, the ones that I want to keep in touch with.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, that's interesting. Like, do you know what I've been doing? This is what I've been doing. Like, I hear you, because I'll have this really great experience with a girl, say, for a week or something. Say she's in town. We'll have a really great time. Even if it's just a date or two, we'll have a really great time. What I've been doing, which I really like, is having, say, the 1 or 2 dates over the course of, say, a weekend she's in town. We'll have the 1 or 2 dates, sometimes just even one. Have it really good, and just end it on really good terms. And then with like a follow-up text, like the next day, of just like, hey, that was so cool to meet you, really great. And then like receiving her text back of like, totally cool, man, you're fucking dope, that was awesome. And I just like that whole package. I just tie that up in a bow, man, and I just like put it on my mantelpiece, and I'm just like, yes, that was fucking sick. Like, that was fucking sick. But I don't really keep in contact with them, because to me, I don't really like. To me, there's no need to like unwrap it unless I'm going to see them again, unless I'm visiting their city or something. That's kind of how I look at it. And we've left it open of like, hey, if you're ever back in town, hit me up. If I'm ever in your town, I'll hit you up. Cool. Tie it up in a bow. Boom. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. For me, it was actually partly on myself because I felt some of the ones from my past, it was my mistakes that maybe hurt certain ones.
Mm.
And I tried to like, this was a few years down the line. I thought, like, okay, that girl was a little bit toxic, but it was me. It was causing that.
Mm.
So I reached out, but not in a reach out way of I want to meet them again.
Right.
Which it potentially could happen, but it's unlikely to.
Mm.
So that was never the goal.
Mm.
The goal was just to sort of be a friend.
Mm. Because
that was something I always wanted to do anyway. Over the past couple of years, I've started becoming friends with girls.
Yeah, I hear.
Which actually seems like not what we're trying to tell
I know. It's super strange, man. I hear you with that. Like, I hear you. It's super weird, man. But I actually appreciate sometimes just like the genuine kind of connection or even friendship in a strange way with the girl.
Yeah.
And sometimes that does include like escalating to physicality and stuff, which is great. And then it kind of de-escalates if she's leaving town or it just doesn't work out that we can hang out anymore. And then it kind of like de-escalates back to just we're friends. Like, yeah. I'm actually kind of like that. It's like, okay, yeah, like I'm probably not going to like spend a ton of time with that girl or keep in like massive contact with her. But I still like the feeling of like, hey, that was someone who we at least shared like a genuine cool connection. We were kind of friends and not in like a chode way, not in a nice guy way. And there was an element of like, yeah, we were friends and we liked each other and there was chemistry. So we escalated physically and due to like practicalities and logistics, it didn't quite work out. So we de-escalated and we just parted as friends. Like to me, I love that shit, man. I almost prefer it over just loads of like fucking physical destructive chaos and whatever.
Yeah, I'm the same, but it's because we both earned it. Like that's what I'm trying to point out to you guys. Like, I mean, if you took this 6 or 7 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to be friends with. Like that would have been wrong of me to be friends with women.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying I had women's friends, but they were few and far between. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. They
were
super rare.
Ones that I knew from early childhood.
Yeah. Super rare.
Like that. Yeah. Because, and you might ask, why was that? Because the reason for that is, see now that I have friends that are girls, they're either friends for a good reason, that they're in a committed relationship, so I'm not interested in them in that sense because I respect the relationship. I just want to be friends with them because I actually like hanging out with them, and that's it, right? Or there's the other thing of, like, I'm just enjoying just hanging out with them. I'm quite chilled. I've got a few girls in the go or whatever. Like, and here's the thing though. I don't get friend zoned.
Yeah,
to see even those girls that see me as a friend, some of them still think, well, maybe I could change his mind, right?
I know.
But here's the big bonus. This is the reason why it really all comes round. It might not be about that girl. It might be our social circle.
Right.
So this is an extreme example, but she might be married for 2 years, right? And I'm hanging about with her in a respectful manner as a friend. We maybe just go for like a coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I'm just using. I'll drink water. She can drink coffee, right? And we just talk about work, right? Like, and the good type of work, like, okay, you're running that business, okay, I'm doing this investment, like that kind of thing, right? But then she tells me at the end, oh, I've got this friend that's coming. I'm going to meet her after, like I'm going to meet her at 4. And I said, I'll walk you, like introduce and stuff like that. But that friend's single. So I'm saying, because that girl respects you, and it's not coming from a friend zone, it's coming from a cool guy.
Yeah.
A cool guy that's just chilled.
Yeah.
Like, she tells all her friends,
Yeah.
positive, positive, positive,
Yeah.
and then you become like the girls automatically think you're a cool guy. So
Yeah.
when they meet you, they already know about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
a good... Yeah, go ahead.
no, just to finish, what I would say is if you're coming up in the journey and you're quite at a lower pace, I wouldn't have many girls as friends. I would
No.
just limit it.
Yeah.
Because if you try to be friends with them, it's going to be too much.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna. You're just gonna be stuck in some weirdo friend zone. Like, don't bother with that. No, man, that's an interesting little point you've made there, though. Like, yeah, dude, it's cool because this is like a next. What we're discussing now is like, you know, at least intermediate, if not an advanced topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not for. This is not for.
I would say going advanced.
Yeah, this is more advanced. Yeah, this is not for a beginner. You don't need to worry about any of this type of stuff. Don't be fucking worried about being friends with some girl. Get her out on the fucking date. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know the rest. Like, no, this is more advanced. And I've had some, I think of a girl recently, I think we hung out twice or something, and it didn't really escalate, but it was just like, we had enough kind of interesting conversation and kind of for a laugh, and there was the potential of escalation, and I think it would have gotten there, and it was still moving in that direction, and then, turns out now she's going to be busy doing other stuff, and I just, yeah, that's fine. But I'm still happy about it. I'm still happy about the whole unfolding of things because it was done in a cool way, not in like a nice guy way, but in a cool guy spending some time together, and you can see the trajectory of it. The important thing is she can see the trajectory, and she's okay with it. Whether or not it happens, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because there's so many different factors that go into a date that a lot of guys don't realise. Because here's the thing, like, a lot of guys might look at us and think, God, we're starting to trend in advanced topics here. We're trending in advanced guys, right? We're starting to trend for that direction.
True.
So they might think we're absolutely killing it in dates, which we are. We are, right?
To a degree, but
it's not as if we're taking every girl home and
no,
having all nighters.
No, not at all. No, not at all. We're appreciating
some of the best.
Yeah.
No, you go, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the point. Is because the reason we have some success is because we appreciate all the success. We see it all as success. I saw that girl who we hung out twice that just was hanging out with good conversation. I saw that as success. And that's why I'll also get the other type of success that all the newbies want, or all the beginner guys think that is the only success. Which it is success, but I saw the other things as success too. And you have to see it that way, man. You've got to appreciate, or you're never going to get anywhere, man. It's like you're literally there with this girl. It's like all these nice guys who they see some blonde girl who works at a fucking bar or works as a waitress. If only she'd go out with me. Oh, fucking Sarah, if only she'd go out with me. It's like, here's the thing, bro. The reality is, the reality is what's going to happen when she actually literally does come out with you.
Yeah.
You're still there with her. What are you doing? You and her are just there having coffee or taking a walk. You've got to appreciate the whole thing. It's like, oh, here she is. Now we're walking. Now we're drinking coffee. It's an hour and a half we're spending together. It's like, guys don't want to learn how to appreciate that whole process, and yeah.
I agree, and it's just something that's come into my mind here. That I know it's getting a little dark, so I'm going to turn a light on, right?
Turn it on, man.
1 sec.
Yeah, and we'll go for another, say, like 20 minutes, and we'll wrap up.
Yeah, 20 minutes is good. Yeah, so yeah, that's fair. So I was just going to say that this is just something that came into my mind there. I hadn't actually thought about it before, but a lot of nice guys are around a lot of nice women, right? What I mean by that is a lot of nice guys aren't going on dates with the hooter girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they should.
Yeah, they should. Oh, for sure they should. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's just something that I never done. Like,
Mm.
I went out with some of the kind of more edgy girls, but they were never too edgy. Like, when I say edgy, I mean they were a little bit edgy, but they weren't that sexually experienced.
Yeah.
Right?
Go with the more edgy girls, and a lot of times what you realize is like at the end of the day, there's a lot of common denominators across all girls. Even that girl with like loads of tattoos, who's got the Instagram, who's like, I'm a bad bitch, blah blah blah. It's like at the end of the day, when you actually get her out on a date, like you'll see that she has a lot of the same desires and wants and behaviors, and sometimes you'll find that they're actually like not that bad after all, or like she's not really that fucking mean after all. I've sometimes had that where I'm just like, yeah, girl, like she kind of portrays herself as this like mean girl and blah, blah, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a mean girl. And sometimes you'll hang out with her and be like, yeah, to be honest with you, girl, it's like you're actually not that mean. It's like they're almost they're almost like upset. They're almost like, yeah, I am. I'm like, nah, I've met a lot of mean girls. Like, you're not that mean.
Yeah, it's a sort of, it's like a facade almost.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because deep down, like, they're actually good at heart.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Most people are good at heart.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like a lot of it's just a game. A lot of the girls just play a game, a mean girl game. But when you really get them, you know, one-on-one, and you can really, once they see that you're a cool guy, see, this is the big thing. This is the big thing that the nice guys miss. Once the girl can feel that you are just a genuinely cool guy who just has intention and direction and is doing the right thing, she kind of just is like, yeah, I mean, this is who I am. Like, she just starts behaving better, and you just get to see kind of who she really is. She just like by default starts to like, by default starts to drop that like persona. That's kind of what I see.
Yeah, I see that as well, because I mean, and here's the good thing about those type of girls. Those types of girls have maybe grew up quite quick, right? So they're edgy, but maybe have had experience with like a little bit of drink, a little bit of drugs, maybe just drink. But they've got the tattoos, so they've been around with a few guys and stuff like that, or maybe a lot of guys. Some of them, And the good thing about that is that because they have more experience with guys in general, they're more relaxed around nice guys, right? But here's what the positive thing comes in with the nice guys. Because they're more relaxed, that relaxes the nice guys. Sometimes the nice guys make moves they didn't even know they had in them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, because that happened to me.
Okay.
But this didn't happen when I was like 16, 17. This happened years later.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, if the nice guy is like at least taking action and he's at least like creating intention and getting on the path a little bit, some of these opportunities can open up for him. Let's say that.
Yeah, exactly, because like those girls are more loose. They're more loose. They're more like their edges were staying. Like, so they might start making moves on you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the time, the nice guy he'll just too scared, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
But at least he's still out there. But some of the time, the nice guy will be so present because she's so present that he ends up becoming more masculine just because of her energy.
That's true. And this is a good point. Yeah. This is a good point for a nice guy. How you can look to the future and see how, hey, bro, you can leverage your nice guy assets if you let's say it this way. You can leverage your nice guy liabilities if you gain the right assets. Right?
Yeah.
If you gain the right assets and you learn how things really work, you learn the nature of women, you start to gain intention, you start to get some purpose, you start to learn logistics, how to escalate, all this stuff, you can start to balance out that you have some of these nice guy tendencies, but you're balancing them out. And so then a girl can start to see like, oh, he's not just a nice guy. And what you will find too is girls will stop calling you a nice guy. They never
Yeah.
call you a nice guy. Girls never call me a nice guy. they
They call you an asshole.
they just never use the word nice guy because the word
Yeah.
nice guy is for a nice guy. They might
Yeah.
so it's not they're not going to call me a nice guy. They make up other stuff. They'll say, "Oh, you're funny. Oh, you're weird. You're different. You're awesome. You're this, you're that." But they never say you're a nice guy, right? They
No.
never say you're so nice. You're a
So,
dickhead. You're so, yeah.
all those ones that you're saying, the funny, the weird, I've had all of those.
Oh yeah. You're such a dickhead. You're such a fucking asshole. You're so stupid. You're blah blah blah. But they never will say like you're such a nice guy because they can't because that's not there. That's not what you're doing.
No. So like they wouldn't be able to say it because it doesn't fit the narrative.
No.
Yeah. Like the only way they would say the word nice is if it's something like completely unrelated to nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, but I can't even think of a time where they would actually use that word even still.
No, because
it's never happened to me. But I'm just saying, but probably as an example that you could get that they say nice, but it's in a good values way. Unlikely though.
It really just doesn't happen. Like there's just no. It's just like doesn't come up because there's no purpose of it. It would be like her saying like it would be her it would be like her saying like oh you know like you're so good at breathing. And it's just like oh, okay. Like it doesn't make any sense. So really the word nice guy and a guy being a nice guy or a girl referring to a guy as a nice guy, it's really all she's saying is oh you're just not doing it right. Oh, you're just doing it wrong. That's all she's saying. She's saying, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're doing that's wrong. You're just not doing it right. That's all she's saying.
But it's so simple to fix. So simple. Now, when I mean simple to fix, I mean it's so simple to take. It's so from what I know now, right?
Yeah.
From all the knowledge I've got now, if I had to go back to being a 3 where I was,
yeah,
I could get to a 4 within an hour.
Oh, bloody yeah. Right? Yeah, but it needs you need yourself to teach you that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'd need to keep that up. You'd have to keep it up for like a couple weeks to really instill it deeply. But if you got a hold of yourself and were like, hey, it's this, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this, you could correct yourself relatively quickly. And man, what a benefit that would be.
But that's the thing. It's all those going out every night when you don't want. It's actually all the tough nights that get you in the tough days because it's like the footballers or the guys in the hot. Like you find a lot of those guys. Oh, they're chipping away, and they keep building up. But like they keep just stepping up, and nobody knows anything about them, right? Because they're not in the NHL or they're not in the Premier League.
No.
But they keep building up,
yeah.
And then before you know it, they're at a good level, and you're thinking, oh God, that guy's made a TV appearance, right? And then before you know it, a year later, they're the star player.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, it's a lot harder the lower the level because it's like the pyramid scheme. It's so much harder to get to the top.
Yeah.
But the closer you get to the top, the quicker you get up the ranks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it starts. Yeah. You start getting more. It's like the more success you get, people just start handing you success. It's like before you know it, like you're meeting a girl like everywhere you go. Like you're meeting a girl like as soon as you like go in the grocery store. It's like when you're leaving work, when you're this here. It's like and then this girl leads into that girl, and then she's calling you back, but you can't because you got to see this girl, and then that makes her want you to come out even more. And then you got to change the plans with this girl to go with that girl. So then this girl gets jealous, and now she wants to come out more, and it just all escalates. And then eventually, there always comes this point, and I can remember a few in my own experience where it's just like you're literally find yourself like. You're like, oh my God, I literally am a cool guy. Like I literally am like trying to balance out these multiple different girls to see when I can see which one. And it's totally irrelevant if none of them come out. Like it's totally irrelevant. In fact, I almost hope they don't come out so I can just sit here and relax. It's super crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've like the last few years, like especially since COVID, actually very like because that's when the socialising had to stop, right?
Yeah, I know. I
But
was so mad.
I've really took the priority of girls right to a low level in my life, like
Yeah, me too.
because like I said to you before, like my whole Monday to Sunday schedule. So the only chill day I have is Sunday.
Hmm.
But my chill Sunday is like most guys' busy day. Like
Yeah.
even my chill day still because I end up doing family stuff or end up going to see a friend. So it's not as chilled as you think, but I do get a bit of chill time. But the point I was trying to make is that I've I've really lowered the bar for like the priority of like there's so many things that come up like playing chess with my cousin is way above
Yeah.
talking to the girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because I'm playing chess on an app with my cousin, and I've got the notification switched on for chess, but I don't have the notification switched on for Tinder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you're right. And it makes you it makes you like you realize that's what it's about is just building this lifestyle, building this mentality. You have to have that, and then when when an opportunity comes, like you can capitalize on it correctly. Again, this is an advanced topic we're talking about even here. Because if you're beginner or even intermediate, but definitely beginner, it's like you basically just need to rack up as much reference experiences as possible for like a year or two at a time just to get used to everything. But when you get further on, like advanced, it's like in some weird way, it's like less is better. It's super strange. It's like I almost find sometimes like not collecting more numbers. Like I collected 3 numbers last night. I didn't even respond to 2 of them. I didn't even text 2 of them. Because in some way I know that it's like, nah, it just really wasn't that great of a fit. Like, no, but something better will come. It's like there is this element of like beginning to say no to things gives you an opportunity to say yes to bigger things. I really believe that.
Yeah, I do too, because the big thing for me now is that I go out, but I'm so chilled.
I know.
Like, yeah.
I know.
Because I like the last couple of weeks I've started going out, right? But it's more just a socialising
Me
thing now.
too.
It's not really to like hitting them.
It's so crazy, man. It's like it's literally just for like the act of going out. I've been just like watching my steps. I've been just like looking at my steps and being like, well, look at my steps I got. Like it's just nice to be out in the fresh air, and I brush my teeth and I put my hair and I put some clothes on, and it's like, hey, I'm out. And it's you do a little interaction, but it's like, okay, well, that was fun. Going home now. It's like, did I get numbers? Nah, it doesn't matter. It's whatever. Like,
yeah, but that shows the like. I mean, I'll tell you the reason why I go out, and I think you're the same. The reason I go out is because I'm into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to see what's changed, like so that I can help other guys. But make no mistake, see if I wasn't into doing the coaching or anything along this line, I wouldn't have to go out and do sessions. I could just run my day to day and just kind of do whatever I want. And just if I see them at the supermarket or I see them, I can just say hello.
Yeah.
But that took a long time.
Yeah. Oh
that took a long time.
And I think what we both keep saying is like, man, I think the bottom line is like, it doesn't make either one of us happy to see guys struggling. Like we don't feel like I don't feel good when I see like 3 or 4 guys out, 3 fucking dudes out together, fucking broing around, drinking beer and like, yeah, Bo, yeah, Billy, but none of them are really getting it. It's like that doesn't make me feel like, oh, good, those guys don't get it and I do. Yeah, good for me. They're stupid. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like fuck, like I wish they could just correct a few things, or I just see things and I'm like, fuck, if you just corrected that, man, like, dude, everything will be better. Your life will be better. Your friends will be better. The girls would be happier and they wouldn't be so fucking sour all the time. Like, let's just, yeah. So we'll wrap up here in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to add a point, but that's why we have evolved.
Yeah.
Because when I went out, a lot of guys, like, there was quite a lot of guys that weren't like that were better than me.
Oh.
So some were like us. Some were, but not all.
Ooh, yeah. A guy who's a hater like that, that's dark. I don't like that.
No, not necessarily haters.
Okay.
That's not what I meant. I'll
Oh,
explain what I mean. What I mean is, like, maybe you've seen a conversation going on, right?
yeah,
This is me now.
yeah.
I see a conversation going on. I think that guy's struggling, right? I could easily go in, and that guy would be bummed. You know what I'm saying? That, but I don't,
Oh, okay.
because I think let, like, and I don't even go in to help him,
Right. Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
because I could go in to help him, right? But I wouldn't help him.
You'd just end up looking cool, and it would blow him out.
Yeah. So what I do now is, if I see guys like that, and they've maybe had a conversation, but then they get bummed out themselves, and maybe I'm just standing beside them, I'll just speak to them.
Yeah, that's cool.
And but I'm not helping them, because
No,
I'm not
no.
out to help them. Like, what I mean is, I'm not telling them, like,
Do
a
this. Do
1.5
that.
hour podcast
Yeah.
to what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they'll learn just tips just by talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I'll say, "Oh, how's your night going?" You say, "Yeah, I was talking to the girls, but, like, yeah, 2 rejections went by." And I said, "Well, just keep trying, hold their hand longer, stuff like that." Yeah, just kind of like pointers. But when I was going out, some guys did help me like that. So there was a lot of good guys, but there was also a lot of guys that came into conversation I had, and I get bummed out, and
Yeah.
that didn't bother me though. Personally,
Mm.
that motivated me. I
Yeah.
thought, that guy's better than me, I've got to step up. But most guys, that would reject them.
Yeah. I rarely see other guys who are good or at least competent interfering. I
Oh,
rarely
well,
see.
it's different over here.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, like, that
Really?
happens a lot over here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like, I mean, I see a lot of guys that it doesn't happen so much at the bars,
Uh-huh.
right? It happens more at the clubs though.
Interesting. Okay. Because I have heard about that. Like in Vegas, there's a real like culture of that. Like real competition.
Well, for me, I can't relate in Vegas, because I'm from Scotland. Like, I'm already a cool guy, even if I'm not. If that makes sense.
Okay.
But,
Sweet.
like, so I can't relate on a personal note, but I have seen in Vegas that, well, Miami's, yeah, America's very much like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
America's even. I would say America's like, when I say America, I mean particular places like Vegas, Miami.
Yeah.
The sort of the upper scale type places, like, it's very cutthroat.
Yeah.
Very, very cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing that's quite good about Vegas and Miami is you have a lot of options.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So even if you do get bummed out, there's just so many people at the pubs.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Endless.
But it must be a hard thing for a lot of guys to handle. But the way I handled it, so I can only say from my advice, because I'll say what it's like in Scotland. In Scotland, there's very little guys that go out on their own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what happens is, if you're in a conversation out on your own, right? Because this is what happens. It doesn't happen now, but it used to. Sometimes I was having a good conversation, but I was struggling. But I was still holding. I was getting by, but I was struggling. But the girl was still there.
Yeah.
The girl was still there. But then 3 guys rock up, cooler guys. But because there's 3 of them, one guy starts talking to me, but he's only talking to me, so he's trying to pull the girl away. So I mean, there's all tactics like that.
See, I don't see like much of that like coherent, like strategic game type shit happening usually. But it doesn't even like, I don't mind it. Like, I'm not even opposed to that. Like, if there was more of that, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. Like, this is interesting. Like, it's just a new dynamic. So I'm not even necessarily opposed to it. Like, what I see mostly, this is just my experience, what I see mostly is the occasional cool guy who's just doing his thing, who's just either out with the girl he's out with, or he's out trying to just be cool and meet the girls, or try to operate his game, which is fine. So I see that occasionally, but what I mostly see is like fucking total chode nice guys who see an opportunity and they just interfere. I see that a lot. I've had that a lot. Of just like it's like this girl's like friend. You know what I mean? It's some like guy who she works with, or some friend of her boyfriend, or friend of her friend's boyfriend or something. And he just like, even things may be going well, but he just like sees a little opportunity and he's just like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't you drinking?" Blah, blah." And then it's just like, "Oh, okay, man, cool, dude, cool." But he just won't leave it alone, and he just keeps putting sour energy into it. And it's just like, he just kind of disrupts it and sours the vibe. And even if you try to be like, "Okay, bro, like, get out of here," in some ways it's like the damage is already done because he's already like disrupted things. And then it's just like, you're just sitting there and you're just looking at this guy and you're just like, there's nothing you can say. It's like a few times one time recently, I can remember I like just like literally looked at this guy and I was like, "Bro," I literally said to him, I'm like, "Bro, like, please get help, man. Please, dude." But
this was at a nightclub.
This was just like outside of a bar, like of like an outdoor, what we call like beer garden kind of thing. But even that was just an empty pit because he didn't get it. He's like, "No, man, it's you who are stupid." And I was like, it's like, what can you say to that guy? So you just have to be like, turn around and carry on. So that's mostly what I see. And so, yeah. So, do you have anything else, or we'll wrap up here? I think here soon.
Yeah. Can't see you.
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to break up. So we'll get ready to wrap up here. Hopefully we can get back on for just a second. You there?
But
yeah.
If you can see me, I'm not sure.
No, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
We can just wrap up.
We'll wrap up here. Okay, I can see you again here now. Okay, well, yeah, that was pretty good. I think we definitely covered a couple good couple topics here.
Yeah, that was a couple of good ones. And we were sort of showing the positive and the negative sides of different ones. Yeah, so that was fun.
I think so, man. Yeah, we gave the nice guys a little bit of hope, I think, and we we balanced things out. So I think overall, man, it's good. Like, and we're both kind of getting on this path, man. It's all progress, man. It's all good, and it's good to have like, we can even like get together like this and just like bring ideas together. It's like good for everybody. Good for me. Good for you. Like,
because I'm always learning from these. Like, just I'm learning from you. I'm even learning when I'm speaking, because like once you start having deep conversations, like your mind thinks about things that you didn't even think about before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so, and I don't have a lot of other guys. Like, very rarely do I get an opportunity to have this type of discussion with another guys. Most guys want to talk about fucking football, or that's all they want to talk about, or it's like, okay, for a few minutes maybe, but like past that, I want to do something productive. Like,
yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that you almost have to just accept it in a way, because that's what most people want to talk about, if that makes sense. Like, most people aren't talking about culture as meditation.
But I can only take a few minutes of that, man. It's like after like a couple minutes, I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, I could sit here with you and talk for 2 hours and be like, oh, great, I'm learning things. It's like, yeah, I'm not, like, I can take a few minutes of it. Yeah, no problem. Because it's reality. It's life. You got to put up with it. But I don't want to spend a bunch of time doing that.
Oh no, I'm very good at that now, and I think you are too. That, like, see if someone's not helping me in life, I just don't surround myself with that person.
Yeah. I don't hate on them. I'm like, oh, it's all good. No. You're doing something different. It's cool. It's like, I can't spend a lot of time doing that, so it's fine.
Oh no, I'll still talk to them and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit in a 2-hour podcast with them.
No,
you know? Yeah.
Hell no. Okay, well, yeah, man, this is good. So we still got some more topics. So why don't we do something maybe next month or something? Maybe getting closer when the weather starts to, the trees start to turn. Maybe coming up to Halloween or something. We'll
Yeah, Halloween sounds fun. So maybe around the middle of October or something like that,
Okay,
around
man.
that time.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Hit me up and we'll set it up.
Because Halloween's a topic on its own.
Oh man, good dude. I'm gonna go out, man, this Halloween. I'm gonna go out and feel the vibes because the vibes on Halloween are crazy, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, man.
I'm the exact same. Like, I'm planning going to a night. I'm not going to nightclubs just now, but because it's just new again, I'm just kind of making sure. But I'm planning going to nightclubs next month at the start of October. So by that point, I'm trying to go maybe once a week in October. So I'll maybe been 3 or 4 times. So when it gets to Halloween, I want to go out on Halloween.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been just going out on the streets like early evening, just getting out the vibes, and like I haven't really been going in places a whole lot because it's still kind of like all this. You got to like sign in, and then you have to like go and sit at like your direct seat. You have to like have your mask on until you sit down.
Yeah.
And then you got to like order a drink, and like you can't really leave your seat. So for me, it's just not really helpful for me right now. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. But
yeah, I'm the same. I'm waiting, but like I know cases are going up here, so I'm kind of like, well, it could go either way. Now we could either just be living with it.
yeah.
Or they'll end up trying to shut everything down again, which
Yeah.
I hope they don't. But I'm sure. Do you know what? I'm happy either way. Whatever they want to do, I'll be good on my own.
Totally.
Yeah.
Good words.
If I have to stay in and do cold showers all day long, I'll have to do it.
I like that, man. Yeah, I love that mentality, man. I hear you, dude. I'm making the best of it right now, and the weather's nice. I'm getting out, strolling around. But when winter comes and there's really not much opportunities to go out, man, that's fine, dude. I'm moving on to something else, and it's all good. I made the best of the summer, and I can move on and do something different. So I think we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool, man.
Yeah, that's a good chat, man. Yeah.
All right.
Do one in about 3 or 4 weeks, yeah?
Totally, man. Let me know, dude. Hit me up.
Yeah, I'll give you a message. Okay.
Awesome.
Enjoy your night.
All right, man. You too. See ya.
All right, take care, Luke.
Later, man.